Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Alice in Wonderland. Let's continue. So I'm hoping to potentially accelerate the gameplay here, and by doing that I'm hoping that maybe in the next 30 minutes we will be done with this game. Where this program has been running for 50 hours. I certainly haven't been playing it for 50 hours. That would be a level of insanity that no one would put up with. And in all honesty, I don't know how you can make any kind of Disney movie tie-in or any movie tie-in game that was that interesting. Maybe you could get all the Disney properties tied in and do something like Kingdom Hearts, but even in the long-running RPG, long-running in the sense that the games take forever to play, even in those instances they are still at least partially Final Fantasy characters too.
It just appeared out of nowhere. How marvelous.
And there should be 2 more. I'm looking for these tiny little yellow dots that could desperately be improved by simply putting a black border around it. Like basic art stuff there. And yet they didn't bother to do it. And that's a little weird in itself, because when it comes to wasting their time or spending their effort on animating things, this game has actually been very eager to do that. It's the gameplay and level design that they're very reluctant to add any more content to. So, like, this game just seems like a game producer, director dropped the ball here, and he overemphasized one thing and didn't emphasize enough of the other things. So Cheshire now has a 3-hit combo, which is something you would have imagined you would have gotten early in the game, not at the end of the game when it's actually completely useless to you. But I guess whatever. I don't really feel like I'm playing this game out of order. It really does feel like they gave me some things out of order. And with that, that was our last upgrade, so now we do have the upgrades achievement. So we'll get a close look on these 7 of Heart card things. Enemies that we've been fighting like crazy. I believe they probably are all 7 of Hearts. It's not a bad design, not a bad design at all. But the strength of these enemies, it should have been, we spent an hour just fighting an unarmored version of them, which they created, because we see unarmored versions of them as their armor disappears and is broken, and then after about an hour of fighting them in the unarmored version, they would have gotten some armor, and then that would have made it more difficult, and we should have gotten back to doing a little bit more armor. And so it should have been a peak and then a decline, a peak and a decline in difficulty, and instead it's really just been a ever increasement of difficulty. We never got strong enough with any of our upgrades to feel like we were any better than we were at the beginning fighting the weakest of enemies. This would be the place, I suppose, where we would have to where we would have had to smash a bunch of enemies. She's just gonna sit down there. Now, as far as I can tell, there's no collectibles here in this. I found them all, which means this whole little hallway level doesn't really bother us too much. We can kind of just sneak through this house door into the next area.
Don't let him get away!
I was hoping, at least.
You'll have to do better than that.
Apparently this won't work. And some of these characters, I guess, don't even have a right trigger and right bump attack, which again makes me very suspicious that
Not too hard. Easy.
like I'm very, very suspicious that some of these characters were going to have some more abilities just to make it fair. And I have to fight these guys, but it's really just because. Like, and now we can go through this door, and I imagine the animation of Alice walking through this door will just be an animation we've seen before. This will be, I guess, a good confirmation that they did make an animation showing her walk through a door she was properly sized for. Yeah. There's really no reason for that. It's wasting everybody's time. And why is the map always breaking? If I might be so bold as to ask, game. This will be a problem. If it turns out that there was a hidden chest somewhere that I missed, well, I guess that's the end of the game for me at that point, because like I am not willing to run around this game a third time simply to satisfy my own whim. Of trying to collect all the chests. It says there's like one somewhere over here. There it is. That took too many attempts. There's about 3 more that I suspect will end up having to do everything. And we already got all of the upgrades, so we don't have to worry about that. It's a little weird that you're in this section where they hid the shortcut at noon sharp, a specific time, and then there's a completely different section where you kind of travel through different versions of reality or different times. It feels almost like you're manipulating time when you do the Queast, whatever it was called, tree, the 4 doors that you had to go through in a specific order. Alright. So I both want to avoid conflict, which I don't think I'll be able to do, and now this'll get me like different This will get me the most if I don't take any damage. But I've got to make sure I don't actually take any damage. Well, there goes my bonus for not taking any damage. Like, how did he see me?
With WBK.
If I just close my eyes, they'll all disappear.
And seriously, some of the things Alice says in the middle of the battle makes her, for a second, seem like she believes all of this is just a dream, which at this point you really can't try to make that argument. Not for a game that's been going on for hours and hours and hours. And the music just kind of fades out, so... I had to go through that for kind of no reason. Come on. Like, at a certain point, I kind of do need to just count the number of chests. Because we're a little short on the big chests. Which maybe that means what was Alice pointing at right then? So does Alice point at things when I try to use them? No, not really. She just kind of points. Interesting, I suppose. So this doorway would just take us back to the desert. I don't see that there's a really good reason to go back to the desert. The doorway to the stables aren't even there. So 4 is what I see. 4 is the number, and as far as I can tell, there's nothing more on the map. Unless there's some chest that's hidden behind the image of some door. You see, this door is in shadow because I haven't traveled through it both ways. Or at least that's what I'm taking from that. And this is the door back to the round room, I'm pretty sure. And it too is in shadow. Of course, the question I should ask is if 4 chests are what are left to be collected, how many chests do I need to get the achievement? No. That's the real question. So let's look at that. 5. And 3 of them are big chests. And we've already gotten all of the upgrades, right? Well, there is a chest out here that I've missed, and then there are like 3 big chests that I've missed. And like, where could it be? Is there some big chest in this hallway. Is there a big chest that's gonna have the armor? Maybe there are 3 big chests there. Is there a yellow dot in the Queen's section that I'm not seeing? It almost makes me wonder if it might be in the Red Desert. But if it was in the Red Desert, wouldn't it tell me? We're far enough though. Like, let's just be honest. We're far enough now to. Like, maybe I need to search around here. Yeah, that might be the case. We might as well get the 4 that are left. The game seems to kind of want you to do that. We've been everywhere else. And see, when I traveled through that invisible door, it still didn't go solid, so I guess that may just mean nothing. Let me ask this: if I walk over here and look, can I go back to the Red Desert? Nope. Alright. Let's just try to be careful and sort of quick about this, but sort of careful also. Like, the only thing I'm trying to like force the camera and it's just not wanting to go. And then we can get over here. And we can get over here. And see, I don't even feel like there's really... I feel like that bridge that's up there is intentionally inaccessible now. So I'm probably wasting my time. So I'm not seeing any big chests here. It's kind of weird. You load it into the small moat section and don't do anything really, and then you have to move on. And I really don't see a way you would have been able to approach or access these areas before. There you go. I guess what we're getting here is a different animation of her being kidnapped because I don't think I've ever seen that from that perspective. Frankly, this is just too much button pushing. It's getting ridiculous. And if I look at this map completely, I could go up. I guess there's a door and an Alice door. So I'm hoping I don't have to fight any more people. I mean, this should... Now, what's funny is the last time we were here, we didn't have Alice. She was just...
You just use your watch and everything stopped.
She was just hiding. Oh, well, no, she was sitting.
I'd love to be able to do what you do here.
Let's see. Well, I don't. We already got a big chest.
It just appears out of nowhere. How much?
And we are here. And somewhere there's a couple of other chests that we missed. Okay, they are up there. So how does one get to that shortcut? And she just teleports.
They're coming!
Watch the watch!
Like, specific characters require specific attacks. You can break these. Interesting.
You made that look easy.
Alright. Let's see. And I guess this is where like I guess this is where that would connect. that's 2 more chests. But that's not the... It's not the secret chests. It really shouldn't make a sound when they disappear Alice like that. Like there's really no reason for that. And save. You might as well. Let's see. We're now 3.5 times in circles. Does this perhaps go somewhere? I mean, no, not really. So where does walking through here end up taking you? Yeah, it just skips that part. Alright, well. Desperately looking at the map, and as best as I can tell, I didn't miss anything. So, like, if the one treasure chest I did miss is here, I guess good for it, but also bad for it, because I'm never gonna find it. I literally don't see myself finding one treasure chest hidden behind something on this map, almost certainly. Hidden in some sneaky way. So our move is to go back this way.
Such a marvelous skill you have there, Hare.
Crawl through this. I didn't think those would spin.
It worked! Wonderful!
And see, that could have been a trick to get a big treasure chest. Certainly. It wasn't. Could have been. And yeah, this should take us through this point to another loading scene. Yeah, if you're trying to get to the stables alone, you're gonna go through at least 3 loading scenes before you get there. And with modern technology, you could easily make this whole game just a you could make it a open world element. Alright, so that guy can't be hit. So,
what a horrible dream.
And she still thinks it's a dream. And I guess since this guy didn't actually come through the portal, I'm highlighting him in the process.
It's got me. Hurry, I can't take this anymore.
See, I don't even know
I need to
where
find
this would
someone
end up taking her. Yeah, I assume it would just be a game over scenario. And for a kids game, the archery element, it's not a problem. It doesn't, you don't get hit by it enough for it to feel unfair or anything. But it does introduce this idea of a player taking damage and not really knowing where the damage is coming from. So, like, it will feel like the game is just arbitrarily punishing the player simply because they don't realize that there's something attacking them. You would think with the vocal blade, the Mad Hatter would do more damage, but no. And look at the death animation. That is very generic. Come to think of it, spinning in a beam of light. There's just more and more of these guys. And maybe you would get like a big chest for killing all of these sections. Yeah, why not just like I don't know what you would want to do. Probably pause for a fraction of a second and then blink the character and then refill their life. Would be what I'd want to do. Something along what I think Nintendo does. I wouldn't want to go to a full game over screen or anything, but just spinning around on a beam of light, it just seems silly. It's this weird kind of glorification of the death of the character. Are we done? Almost. Wow, that really didn't want to work. This doesn't want to work anymore. Are we done yet?
Help, there's more of them.
Seriously? Is this just gonna go on forever? It can't.
How many of these things can there possibly be?
Like, and when I send these things back to the void, I am like getting rid of them. This isn't a scenario where I'm sending them back to the void and that's the reason that more keep coming.
Make them go away.
Hey. And the audio messed up for some reason. Like, even the game couldn't handle all of these enemies. please be it.
Oh no! Please make me stop.
Maybe I need to kill one of them. Let's make them. Let's make them action out of this, just to be certain it wanted to. So maybe you do have to kill one with your attack ability. So giant chest and giant chest. Which puts us at 62,000 impossible ideas. And that gave me 82,000 impossible ideas. So if there was ever any thought of me needing any collectible ideas, well, see, now we're in a weird position because there's one big chest left and 3 small chests. And we've seen everything, and there's really nothing more to do. Like, unless there was some kind of trick or something. Like, this clearly seems like this was supposed to be the end. We'll go through this door, and in going through this door, we can, meanwhile, refill our health. That'll take us to the desert, and from the desert we can get back to the round room. And in the next recording, we've just got to beat the game. Like, if there really are 3 chests hidden around, which maybe there are, they're not showing up on the map. Like, zooming out does nothing, by the way, to help that. And zooming in is the only other option. We can make the objective show up. So we've given it the old college try, at least. We're about 10 minutes over. That's gonna be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.